TV7 Israel News is made possible thanks to your generous donations.
Shalom, Erev Tov, good evening. This is TV7 Israel News, broadcast to you from Jerusalem. German Chancellor Friedrich Merz visits Israel, during the course of which he emphasizes Berlin's unwavering support for Israel's right to self-defense. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu re-stresses Jerusalem's objection to Palestinian statehood. Egyptian Foreign Minister Badr Abdellati says that Cairo wants the International Stabilization Force in Gaza to gain a peacekeeping mandate rather than enforce Hamas's disarmament. German Chancellor Friedrich Merz concluded a two-leg trip to the Middle East, during the course of which he traveled to both the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan and the State of Israel. During the first part of his trip, Chancellor Merz arrived in the Jordanian capital Amman, where he held a meeting with Jordan's monarch, King Abdullah II, who is married to a Palestinian woman and whose plight for Palestinian statehood within the 1967 lines is regarded as a top national security priority for his kingdom.
Before my visit to Israel, relations between Israelis and Palestinians also played an important role in my talks with King Abdullah. We share the relief that the ceasefire in Gaza has now stabilized for 2 months. But now we must also succeed in entering the second phase. This includes finally removing the basis for Hamas's terror. Gaza must never again pose a threat to Israel.
Chancellor Merz subsequently traveled to Israel, where he had initially met with President Isaac Herzog at his residence in Jerusalem.
You're coming here just following the very unique, important, and historic Security Council resolution, which calls for the day after in Gaza and in the region, which was led and crafted by President Trump and his team. It is clear that in order to move to the next stage, we must make sure that Hamas is removed out of capabilities in Gaza and offer a horizon to the region, a new horizon to the region, a new horizon to the people of Gaza and the people of Israel, a new horizon to Israel and its Palestinian neighbors and Israel and its Arab neighbors. We must work on it together.
Chancellor Friedrich Merz seized the opportunity to emphasize his hope to see the Islamist Hamas disarmed, which is expected to be implemented in the next phase of President Trump's 20-point plan. With that being said, regardless of prospects for peace, Chancellor Merz stressed that Israel has the right to defend itself.
Wir hoffen nun, dass dieser Friedensprozess in die nächste Phase eintritt.
We now hope that this peace process can enter the next phase and, in particular, that Hamas can be disarmed. Because this war is being waged exclusively by Hamas, and if Hamas lays down its arms, this war will be over. Then there will be a future for the region, and there will also be a future for Gaza. We have now seen that the actions of the Israeli army in Gaza have presented us with a dilemma. We have responded to this. However, we have also seen that, to date, we have no fundamental differences. Israel has the right to defend itself. And this will remain the case, because this is the only way to secure Israel's right to exist. We stand by Israel's right to exist, and we will always support Israel in this.
Chancellor Merz subsequently met with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, during the course of which he re-emphasized Berlin's determined support for Jerusalem, while further underscoring the prerequisite for peace to prevail in the Gaza Strip.
Above all, we will continue our diplomatic efforts to bring about peace. One thing is certain, Hamas cannot play any role in Gaza. Hamas must no longer pose a threat to Israel. We must not take short-sighted action or think in the short term. After the trauma of war suffered by both Israelis and Palestinians, we must lay the foundations for a new order in the region. A new order in which Israelis, Palestinians, and Arab neighbors can live in lasting peace, freedom, security, and dignity.
Freiheit, Sicherheit und Würde leben können.
Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, for his part, highlighted efforts to realize President Donald Trump's 20-point plan, which demand Hamas's disarmament, a commitment the Palestinian terror group prescribed to.
I think simultaneous with the advance to the second stage, I think it's important to make sure that Hamas complies, not only with the ceasefire, but also with their commitment, which they undertook, to disarm and have Gaza demilitarized. That's not something that is not part of something that they committed to. They committed to it. And so I think we'll be having very important conversations at the end of the month on how to ensure that this second stage is achieved. We're about to finish the first stage. We're there, almost. But we have to make sure that we achieve the same results in the second stage, and that's something I look forward to discussing with President Trump.
Prime Minister Netanyahu further addressed the question of the internationally aspired two-state solution.
On the question of two states, now we have a different point of view, obviously, because the purpose of a Palestinian state is to destroy the one and only Jewish state. They already had a state in Gaza, a de facto state, and it was used to try to destroy the one and only Jewish state. We believe there's a path to advance a broader peace with the Arab states and a path also to establish a workable peace with our Palestinian neighbors. But we're not going to create a state that will be committed to our destruction at our doorstep.
While Jerusalem evidently rejects any pathway to Palestinian statehood, it is not opposed to reaching a political resolution with the Palestinians. Moreover, Israel is also keen on exploiting growing opportunities that will facilitate normalization with additional Arab and Muslim states in the region and beyond, opportunities that Prime Minister Netanyahu is expected to discuss with U.S. President Donald Trump during a scheduled face-to-face meeting with American leader later this month.
So now opportunities for peace are there. We tend to exploit them. I'm going to discuss them with President Trump when I meet him later on this month.
It is important to underscore that advancing to stage 2 of President Trump's 20-point plan will not take place unless the remains of the murdered hostage, Rani Gvili, are returned to his family for proper burial. Speaking about her longing for the speedy return of her son, the mother of Rani voiced hope that her son is still alive.
We hope that he is still not dead. Like, this is also one of the situations we keep saying. We keep our feet very much on the ground, but we have some, like my son says, 0.0001% hope. We want to feel him. We want to feel that there's a small doubt.
The mother of Rani Gvili further stressed the pride she feels for her son, who bravely fought against the murderous terrorists who committed atrocities against the residents of southern Israel on October 7th of 2023.
We love him, and we love you, Rani, and we're truly, truly proud of you, till the end. There's no greater pride than this. Not just us, I think all of Israel. You're a hero. I once had a dream not long ago at the beginning of the event, that he comes home and tells me, "Mom, when I come back, I'll be a hero." And I say, "You're already a hero, come." When he comes back, he'll be a hero.
Turning to the Qatari capital of Doha, where Egyptian Foreign Minister Badr Abdellati, knowing full well that an International Stabilization Force for the Gaza Strip would have to deal with the Hamas terrorist organization, sought to alter President Trump's 20-point plan by insisting that an international force engaged in Gaza should be regarded as a peacekeeping force rather than an enforcement force that must contend with Hamas's refusal to disarm.
We need international forces to be deployed alongside what's called the yellow line in order to verify and to monitor the upholding of the ceasefire. The mandate should be, from our point of view, of a peacekeeping rather than peace enforcing, and this is very, very important issue.
Next to the Egyptian top diplomat, a senior official from the Saudi Foreign Ministry doubled down on the importance of granting Palestinians their rights, warning that anything short would be detrimental to Israel's security.
And I want to say that we have seen this movie before. We have seen this cycle before. Although the last episode in Gaza was very devastating and maybe the most devastating, but we have arrived at this stage before where there is a war in Gaza, then there is an engagement by the international community, then there is a search for humanitarian assistance, and then political fatigue, and then we forget about it. But only that we could see another more violent cycle of violence erupt. And the idea which is central to this, if we do not ensure the security and the political aspiration of Palestinians being fulfilled, then there is no security for anyone, including Israel and including the rest of the region, but also the world at large.
Thank you for watching TV7 Israel News. I would like to also thank you if you are a supporter of TV7 Israel, since your donation is essential in helping us produce our daily news updates from here in Jerusalem. If you haven't yet supported TV7 Israel, which is exclusively donation-based, please consider doing so. You can do so via our website at www.tv7israelnews.com. Separately, as ever, please pray for our brothers and sisters facing persecution globally, along with prayers for the peace of Jerusalem and redemption of Israel. Jonathan Essen wishing you a Shavua Mevorach, and God willing, until our next update, Shalom from Jerusalem.